Hey, it's Jordan from Crooked Path Forge here for another Anvilside chat. Just summing up my week and thoughts about the week, stuff like that. Putting some really good work with Zori, my new apprentice, on our Viking ship sculpture. We're going handheld today because I can't find my tripod. What are you gonna do? But there's his little head, right? We've got the mast complete as well, with its own little head, right? Tail's done as well. Not sure it'll focus very well on all. There's a lot going on. Anyway, it's almost done. That's the dang point. We really just have to attach the sidewalls and attach the mast, and all the forging is done. Then I got to do a leather sail and a little wire for the rigging. But that should be done by next week. Well, not next weekend, because a lot of stuff is going to go on next week. But it should be done in 2 weeks. That's my hope there. I also spent. What else did I do this week? I worked on some commissions again, of course. Taught a lot this week as well. No big commissions finished. A lot of stuff started. Let's look over at my my pile here. Can we do? I think we can. Hey, look at that. That's how we're going to do that. So, several Crookshanks, couple regular knives. This guy's Damascus right there. So we'll see how that goes. Got an axe started there. Got a lot of steel waiting to be things. Oh, even got a single-edged sword there. That should come out nice one of these days. And then I have, walking over here, yeah, this is the mess that is the constant state of my workspace. I got a little fork and spoon set. I thought that was a nice, pretty little fork. Simple twists, Crookshank style handle. This spoon was going to be the matching spoon to that, but I think it's going to be its own thing. You know, I made it out of different stock because I needed it all, well, I wanted it all one piece. And I needed enough room to get a big kind of serving spoon size. You can see how big that is compared to a regular tape measure. So I had to forge down the handle portion of it. Not done with the handle on this one yet. But it's come out significantly heavier because it's, you know, it's maybe a 1/16 of an inch wider than this. And over that whole length, that adds up to a lot. So what was going to be a match set will now become a match set to as yet unmade items, if that makes sense. I think it does. And then this morning, I spent a bunch of time taking 3/4 by 1/4 flat bar and turning it into 1/2 by 1/4 flat bar. Because my dumbass got some numbers mixed up when I ordered steel for a very important class that's going to be starting tomorrow. Yay! I'm going to be having Ellen Durkin of Iron Maiden Forge coming and teaching a class at my shop. Very excited about this. She is an amazing artist, a really creative mind, super fun as well, superb blacksmith. And she's going to be coming to teach a 4-day class at my shop. Really excited about it, but she needed 10 feet per student of 1/2 by 1/4, and I messed up. So I just spent the day making it. Well, not the day, about an hour making 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 feet of it. Thank goodness for the power hammer. But yeah, it's made. Oh. All right, there it is. Hand forged stock steel. Oh, what a waste of time. Should have ordered it correctly. That's my fault. And that's something I think this week on Philosophy Corner, we'll talk about admitting to your mistakes and learning from your mistakes. And I think that's something that, real people know that this is how life works, right? You fuck up, you learn from it, and you move on. And, I wish our public figures would learn that kind of a lesson. I would love to see, a celebrity, a sports star, a politician. Oh my God, I'd probably faint. Any politician go up and say, hey guys, I had it wrong. I messed up. There's new knowledge out there that I learned from. And, now I'm going in this direction, which is the correct one. At least I think so for now. I'd vote the hell out of that guy, I tell you what. I probably wouldn't even care what party he was. Just someone that could admit their mistakes. I think that's something we can all get behind. Haven't seen it. Probably won't. But here in the real world, we know this is how we learn, right? You mess up, you learn, you fix it as best you can, and you go on. So don't get discouraged by your mistakes, is all I'm trying to say. Don't let those things that are difficult for you, whether that is forging a penny scroll or an animal head or getting the bevel on your knives just right. These are all things that take trial and error. They take practice. They take lots and lots of mistakes. This is something else I kind of used to think as well, and foolishly so. I think you see it a lot in movies, in literature. So many of the comic books I read, X-Men are a perfect example. Teenagers hit a certain age and all of a sudden they get mutant powers and they're super good at something without even really having to try. I think a little more modern world, I think Harry Potter's a great example of that, right? He showed up at, his wizarding school for his first year of wizarding, and he was already, he's the best wizard ever. He's the most powerful wizard ever, and he hadn't done anything yet. And I grew up thinking like that would happen to me, right? I would just show up somewhere and some innate talent I had would manifest and I'd all of a sudden really be good at something without having to try much. And it meant that I was a shit bass player when I was a musician and trying to be a rock and roll star. It meant I was kind of shit or mediocre at a lot of things. And it really wasn't until I got into blacksmithing, and it was something that it was the first time that I enjoyed doing a thing that I wasn't good at. But I still enjoyed it for some reason. It was just some perfect storm in my brain that kept pushing me to keep doing it. And I did. And you get better over time. This stage in my life, in what I've done, don't know that I believe in talent. I think there's always a reason that somebody else is better than you, even if it's their first time doing it. I have people in my classes all the time, brand new beginners, and obviously someone's much better than somebody else. And if you don't know the context of their lives, you can easily say, wow, a person's really talented. But I'll ask people, if I have somebody who's particularly good at blacksmithing, I'll ask them, hey, what do you do for a living? Or what kind of hobbies do you have? And if they're good at it, inevitably they'll be, oh, well, I grew up on a farm. I had to learn how to fix things all the time. Or, oh, yeah, I've been a carpenter and construction worker, framer for 30 years, or something. There's always something, even if you've just learned how to work with your hands in some other capacity, right? As a potter or insert other hands-on activity here because my brain's not coming up with one. But you learn how to manipulate something. Maybe you're a mechanic. You learn how to manipulate the physical world around you in one way, and it becomes easier to learn in another way. I think similar to the way people say about learning languages. You learn your second language, your third one gets easier. I think that's the same with this, and I think that accounts for some of the talent that you might see people have. I've yet to really see someone who's like, no, I'm 15, I pick my nose and play video games, and I'm immediately amazing at blacksmithing. Like, I haven't seen it. Someone maybe somewhere is, but I think the practical way to look at it is not to hope for that talent in yourself, but to build that skill. And maybe this is just how a talentless hack thinks about the world. And that might be the case, but it seems to be doing me well so far, and I'm going to stick with it. So fuck off if you don't like it. That was this episode of Philosophy Corner here at the Anvilside Chat. Next week, be ready for some cool stuff. We'll have Ellen Durkin in to Crooked Path for her class, and then following weekend will be the Florida Artist Blacksmiths Association conference, our annual conference. So probably next week our Anvilside Chat will really be a conference side tour, and we'll get together and walk around the conference and see what's going on. All right, keep hammering, have fun, all that shit. Later.